My name is Welyne Jeffrey. I'm a senior lecturer teaching at University of Malaya. I'm a social anthropologist. So I teach and I do research, and I'm from Kuching, Sarawak. I was growing up in many different schools because my father was a school principal. So every 5 years he has to move to different schools. And I went to stay with my grandparents in the village during school holidays. So that's when I started to learn about my own culture and tradition. In Sarawak itself, we have roughly about 28 different ethnic groups. So the most dominant is Iban. Second come the Bidayu, which is my ethnic group, and then we have smaller groups which are called the Orang Ulu, such as the Kayan, Kenyah, Kelabit, Kajang, Sempok, and whole lots of it. The preservation of culture is a very big question because it's a dying heritage. One of the art which is really dying is the weaving tradition, because it has always been regarded as the passions of the grandmothers. Only old people weave, and the younger generations, they don't really take up this skill and also knowledge because they have been separated from the longhouse or the village, as they have to stay in the boarding house to go for school for their education. So that's the whole reason why we are doing a lot of work for the conservation of the knowledge, because the ikat textile of Pua Kumbu, if you do not know the folklores and also the technique to weave and doing the natural dye, you cannot produce it. I saw the potential in it, so I was just trying to mobilize the women at the longhouse to start a project. We actually only started this project in 2013. As a research, in 2014, I started the community-based Pua Kumbu weaving project with 7 weavers. Now there are 85 weavers. We also have a lot of young weavers learning together with their mothers and grandmothers. If I would count, I would say roughly about 300 people participating, including the men who now started to plant the natural dyes in their forest farmland, who started to become very interested in helping their wife and also their daughters to do weaving, to improvise the backstrap loom, to do the spinning and all this kind of stuff. Previously, because they were doing fermentation, it actually took them almost a year to produce 2 pieces. But since they were introduced to heat up the water to accelerate the performance of the colors, they can actually do the dyeing within 3 to 5 days. So the most difficult part is actually the tying of designs that can take up to 1 to 2 weeks. And the most complicated one will be 1 to 2 weeks. And then accumulated from preparing the yarn to be prepared before the tying. There's a few different stages actually. It will take at least about 1 to 2 months. 1, 2 months, 3 months, depends on the skill of the weavers. But the most skillful weavers can produce within 3 months. And within that 3 months, they can actually do 4 pieces altogether. The weaving of Pua Kumbu has been commercialized since the 1980s actually, but the price was not very good because not only they just weave once a year, but also because there was never ever any proper pricing. We actually agreed on how much per square foot has to be paid for the weavers if we commission them some yarn. We can't afford to give them more than 30 ringgit per square foot. So if you are looking at a 6 by 2 foot shawl on bamboo yarn or comb cotton, the labor cost will be between 300 to 350 ringgit, excluding the raw materials and also the yarn. The exhibition that we are doing is actually an awareness for the public. Last year presentation, because I curated it, it's a very anthropological approach whereby I need public to understand not just the historical background, but also how it is made in much detail, and also the process of all the natural dyes and the stages of weaving, and also the historical background of Iban cosmology before they are brought to see the textile itself, and the significance and also relevance of this textile in their life and how it can be used in modern lifestyle. So it's really a kind of journey to bring people to understand. But people get the message. We have almost 3,000 visitors last year. Basically, I wanted to stop 2 years ago. Yeah, because there's a lot of challenges. Like they are in Sarawak, scattered everywhere. I'm in Kuala Lumpur, and also it takes a lot of effort, and also it takes a lot of time to educate them in so many different ways, because they are so used to the old way of commercializing their textile, and also they don't see the importance of saving. They do not know how to recycle the capital pool. They don't understand all the costs involved to promote it, to send it overseas to customers, and sometimes they want to have 100% of what they ask for each piece of the textile they want to sell. But then I was thinking, I've started this project because I need them to understand, and I cannot just quit when they are about to understand a lot of things. Every time when I go to the village, I see all these faces, like, please, when is the next project coming? They're very enthusiastic, especially the last trip I did. I was actually felt really sad when I said to my interviewer to say, maybe in 2 years I will give this project 100% to them. I felt really sad because I think I'm so attached to the project. Yeah, that's why I will continue.